Welcome to our weekly presentation that comes up every week, and I'm so happy again to have you for today's presentation. I am Donald Vichas, being happy, being so overwhelmed to have you again for this part two of our presentation that has to do with building personal productivity. The last time we looked at part one. For those of you in this session that you have not been able to follow the part one, kindly go to my YouTube at Donald Vichas and follow the part one of the lesson where we were looking at personal development and as well as discovering your self-awareness. We equally looked at tools for building your personalities and the fundamentals of your personal development. So today we are going to look at something that I so much desire, and if you really follow the lessons of today with keen attention, you would be able to learn a lot that will go a long way to transform your personal life. Aspects of character development. That's the topic that we shall be looking at today. And before then, I would like to take this moment to thank you so much for staying glued to the community, staying dedicated to the community. And I want to beg you, if you have not been able to subscribe to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. Kindly subscribe and you hit the like button and of course the notification button, such that whenever new lessons have been uploaded, you'll be able to follow. Thank you so much. Let's move straight to the lesson that we have today. Remember, it's a sure way for you to achieve unlimited results. So the introduction of aspects that has to do with character development consists of the fundamental things, the basic things that you need to do in order to see that your character every day is influenced in a positive way, such that the more you get to grow, the more you can be able to evaluate the way you are being developing as a person, and of course evaluating your character. Character development is very essential when it comes to your personal development. And without this character, remember we looked at this topic last week, which is the fundamental part of your personal development. When you don't constantly look at or evaluate your character or monitor your character, it will have a negative impact in yourself. And of course, we are looking at the topic building personal productivity, wherein last week we had to look at you as a person, personal development. We looked at those domains of personal development. So now today we are continuing with part two of the program, wherein we shall be focusing on your character. Objectives of the lesson. It is my desire for you following this lesson that at the end of the lesson or at the end of the presentation, you will be able to understand what character development is all about, aspects of character development, how to develop a good character, and of course we will be ending, or I will be expecting you to understand the importance of character development. That is the objectives of today's lesson. Key points, aspects of character development. Humility. That is the first point. Humility. It is the ability for you to be able to constantly humble yourself towards other people, where the way you bring down yourself, the way you get to put yourself together, especially when it comes to challenges, when you get to understand how you can build your character through humility, you will have to be able to continuously become better. Why? Because it is popularly said, pride comes before a fall. And the opposite of pride is humility, which means if you are not humble enough to keep on putting yourself down, humbling yourself before those you are called to serve as a professional in that career, the next thing is pride will be setting in your life, knowingly or unknowingly, which will go a long way to influence your personal development negatively. So, the moment you continuously watch the way you grow, the way you develop your character through humility, you will be able to continuously connect with other people. You will be able to continuously learn from other instances. You would be able to humble yourself among others. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you react, thereby helping you to realize the things that you think you know by learning from those who are around you. For example, if you have an assignment to be executed, maybe as a student, and you have a classmate, for example, that is excelling so well in that particular topic or that subject, it is your character, that it is your humility that will prove your character if you have been able to develop by walking up to that classmate, for example, to let that classmate help you out in that particular domain where you are finding challenges. And of course, when you are not having the humble part of you, pride automatically comes in and you begin to feel like you know everything, which goes a long way to influence your character as a person. So, what do? You humble yourself enough. The more you get to humble yourself before those you work with, those you find yourself with, be it in your career, at that job site, you get to understand how your character keeps on growing, keeps on developing. The second point that we are going to look at is the ability for you to constantly be genuine. The more you get to be genuine with what you can do, what you cannot do, and letting others understand who you are as a person, the more you get to grow your character in such a way that people will understand that you as a human being, you are not perfect. How do you do this? You let others who come in contact with you, if you are called maybe to be you are a coach, for example, you should not be coaching people to become successful. Meanwhile, you are not equally letting others understand your point of failures. For example, there was a time in my life where I was feeling that letting people know of your failures will go a long way to limit your personality. But mind you, the more you get to hide your failures from others, it will it will let others have this mentality of you being someone who is not genuine. So, how do you let others understand that you are genuine? You let them know the moments of your life where you being successful, where you were being successful, and how you learn from your failures to become successful. How you know that you let others understand your weaknesses. That is the highest challenge with a lot of great leaders out there, or great professionals out there, or students out there. most of the people out there who are influencing or impacting lives, they get to keep away their weaknesses. They don't share their weaknesses. And mind you, the more you get to share your weaknesses, the more you get to influence others in order to become more stronger. And of course, your challenges in life and how you had to overcome them will go when you do all this service. How when you share all this lesson, it goes a long way to reshape your character, and of course making you to become that best, or you being genuine in that cause where you are find yourself in, and of course impacting the lives of others positively. Are there moments in your life where you have been depressed? Are there down moments in your life where you could not have transport to pay, or to you could not afford to have 3 square meals a day, and now you are becoming successful and you want to impact others? Let them know those moments of your life where you were so down in your development. And of course, this will only go a long way to let your character be perceived as genuine. The third point that we are going to be looking at tonight is the ability for you to be courageous. Your courageous nature. Courage. Courage. The moment you find yourself being able to do the things that can challenge your growth, that's the ability for you to encounter new challenges, facing your fears, and which goes a long way to contribute to your development. This is when you get to understand your character, of knowing when to seek for advice, when to observe, and when to take the step that will go a long way to impact your life. Just because you are able to take risks does not mean that with the courage that you have, you should just take that risk without sitting down to analyze how the outcome of that risk can impact your personal development. How do you do this? If you find yourself in a certain challenge, or you want to start maybe a new project, let's say you want to start a new business, or you want to apply for a job, which is something that you have not done before, that is you taking up a new challenge, and that courage that you have been able to nurture in order to take that bold step will help you to achieve that goal. If you look at your character of sitting down, analyzing the challenges, analyzing how the possible outcome of you getting into this career will impact your life, and of course those you are called to serve. When you get to sit down and you analyze all these, you will be able to courageously take the right step in the right direction, yielding the right result. And of course, this will only go a long way to prove your self-character as someone who is courageous. It is dangerous when you don't get to analyze the circumstances or the things that you want to achieve in your life by just getting into it without you taking time to sit down and genuinely look at how the outcome can be. It will only lead to a dead end. For example, you are a young professional, you are starting up a career, and before you know it, you jump into getting married without you actually getting to analyze how that situation is going to help you grow in your career. And of course, I'm not discouraging those who want to get married without actually building up a career, but the courage for you to sit down, observe, analyze, seek counsels from those who have been able to achieve this goal will go a long way to prove your character as someone who is courageous. Remember, we are looking at the topic aspects of character development that will go a long way to influence or impact your personal development as a young career or as a young professional. The fourth point that we are going to look at is for you to know your personal assets. Know your personal assets. The moment you get to set key values around your life, these values help to direct you, give you a clear direction on the path where you are going, on the direction that you have chosen in life. And these values become the assets that you get to develop that will go a long way to influence your personal development. The moment you develop or the moment you are growing without setting yourself values, key important values around your life, you will realize that your character as a person will not be developed in a positive way that you can be able to achieve your desired goal. Remember, we are looking at the general topic, building personal development, like building personal productivity, building personal productivity. And in the first session of this presentation, I said we shall be looking at the personal development first, those things that you get to develop personally, which will yield the desired outcome that you set for yourself, which is the aspect of your productivity. And we started by looking at personal development, the key fundamentals of personal development, wherein today we continue by looking at those aspects of your personal development, which has to do with your character. What are these values that will contribute to your personal asset as a young professional or as a professional? Your integrity, your dignity. Are you honest enough? Are you hardworking? Do you have self-discipline? Are you constantly or are you consistent with what you are building, with what you want to do? These personal assets will go a long way to shape your character, direct you in order to become that one person that you will be able to achieve those desired results that you have set for yourself. Mind you, if you don't set these personal assets, these personal values around your life, it becomes challenging for you to actually set down goals and actually achieve them. Are you learning something? Now, let's look at the importance of character development. One of the importance of you building your character or developing your character is that it goes a long way to help you set good values among. For example, if you are at a job site, you have your colleagues, you get to set values around your job, around the things that you do, around your own personal self. You get to set values that will help you achieve your goals. And of course, it is very important if you have not really sat down as a person to write down the values that govern your life. These are the things that you get to put in place. Like, for example, hard work. If you have set your value as being someone who is hardworking, you will get to understand that no matter the challenges, you discipline yourself, you get to work hard in order to achieve those goals. And of course, when you do this, no matter the challenges, no matter the setbacks that come in place, you consistently work hard in order to achieve your goals in that domain where you find yourself. So it becomes important for you to develop your character, which will help you set good values for yourself. The second point that that will help you develop your character is for you to it will help you gain self-mastery. How do you gain self-mastery? You understand that there are moments in your life where you get to observe from your remember we looked at you being genuine. You observe from your weaknesses. You get to set out ways, you get to set personal principles around your weaknesses in order to constantly work hard, in order to improve on those weaknesses. By so doing, you gain mastery of yourself as a person, and of course this helps you achieve your personal development as a young career or as a professional in that domain. And of course, the more you get to look at the key aspects of your life with the mindset of improvement towards your character, this will only go a long way to improve on your character and of course making you become better. The last but not the least point is for you to be able to help you put other people's idea or points of view first before taking action. That is, you always listening attentively to other people's points of view as a result of the kind of character that you have built, especially your humble nature, the aspect of your humility. You get to understand that no matter the position where you find yourself, people look at things differently. And of course, when you get to listen attentively to other people's points of view, it goes a long way to build your personal character as a young professional or as a person growing in that domain where you find yourself. Conclusively, as you gradually grow, as you continuously develop your character, remember we are looking at those key aspects around character development, and we have looked at that of your humility. We have looked at you being genuine. We have looked at your courage. We have looked at your personal assets, which will go a long way when you join these things together. It will go a long way to portray the kind of character that you have. And of course, it's through this aspect that will help you know if others will look at you as someone who has a good character or a bad character, depending on how you get to relate with people around you. And the ability for you to be able to do this will only go a long way to improve on your personality as a person, thereby revealing to you genuinely who you are. And of course, it is a gradual and a continuous process that we get to constantly build. Remember, the topic says building personal productivity, which means it's a continuous aspect as we continue to develop and why not becoming better. Thank you very much for this is what I had for you today, and I want to thank you so much once again for following till this end. I am Vichas Donald, your productivity strategist and coach. I just want to say I'm very happy having you for this presentation, and of course, hit the subscription button below and why not like this video, and of course the notification bell for more videos to be uploaded and for us to constantly build together in order to become better. One never knows. Who knows? Today can be that moment of transformation through this lesson. Thank you so much I am waiting for your questions, comments, and contributions.